Hello, my friends. My name is David, and today it is the 18th day of March 2019. It is Monday, a new start to the week. I wish I had a topic that was a little bit more cheery or a little bit more happy, but sadly I do not. I'm going to make my second video within the last 2 months on abortion because it seems to be in the news more and more, especially as of late. And I want to say to anyone that sees this video, if you believe in Jesus, if you follow Christ, if you've accepted Christ, you should absolutely have nothing to do in any way with supporting the murdering of God's innocent children. We are a nation, my friends, that has accomplished so many wonderful feats in our history. We were a nation that came from other country, from the UK, from England, and we fought for our independence from a nation that was much more stronger than us as far as military speaking, but we thirsted for that freedom. We're a nation that put a man on the moon in 1 decade. 1 decade we put not just one man, we put many men on the moon. We're a nation that's invented the computer, the microchip. We're a nation that has Apple and the iPhone and Microsoft computers and every type of surgical advancement, for the most part, has came right from this nation, right from the minds of Americans, the minds that God gave each and every one of us to do such wonderful things, but yet, we still murder our infants. This is not something new, my friends. This is not something that's just on topic right now because of the bill being passed in January, the late-term abortion bill. It's not something, this is something that's been going on for decades. I remember in the 80s as a kid hearing about infants, newborns being found in dumpsters. I know you've heard those stories. It's not just the 80s. It's all the way up through, where they had a prom and all of a sudden after the prom the next morning a dead newborn was found in the trash, thrown away like a piece of garbage, tossed like you would an empty bag from McDonald's. Just throw that child away. That child that our Father gave us. There's so many people in this nation that, for one reason or another, does not have the ability to have a child, that would give anything on this earth to be blessed with that wonderful, wonderful gift that God gives us. There's so many people that would just do anything for a child, and yet so many today just nonchalantly walk into a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic and they murder their infant, instead of thinking that that child could be anything. Could be a pilot, could be a general, could be a senator. I mean, who knows? Who knows? You'll never know. You'll never know. There's a video on my channel I did maybe 2 months ago. I put up, it's about 5 minutes long. I said this before. It's from a doctor who did over 4,000 abortions. He's a Christian now. He no longer performs those abortions. I recommend everybody to go see that, but do not have young children around. It's only about 4.5 minutes long, maybe 5. It's not long. It won't take but a couple minutes of your time. Just go into my channel and scroll up till you see it. It's graphic. I have to warn you, it's graphic. But to hear him talk, it breaks your heart. It breaks your heart. The Bible tells us in Exodus chapter 20, verse 13, thou shalt not kill. Well, what does that mean? I don't think that needs any explanation whatsoever. Do you see the difference between someone taking a gun and shooting someone down on the street and a doctor in a sanitized surgical room taking parts of a baby apart? And you'll know what I mean if you go back and watch that video I was just telling you about. You'll get what I just said, because that's what happens. It's just, it's hard. It's absolutely hard. Psalms 106, verse 38 and 39, it says, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. My friends, this nation has a stain upon it, and it's had a stain upon it for almost 5 decades now, since that was overturned in the Supreme Court, Roe v. Wade of the United States of America. I see these politicians get up in Congress and they claim to be Christians. They claim to be followers of Jesus Christ. It comes from their own mouths. And yet, these same politicians stood up, clapped, and cheered when that bill went through in January, when Governor Cuomo signed that late-term abortion bill into law. These same senators, these same congresswomen and men who I've heard personally stand up and claim they are Christian, applauded this. Many of them said it was a wonderful advancement in women's health and rights. A wonderful advancement. Think about that for a minute. A wonderful advancement to murder an infant, an innocent little infant that cannot fend for itself. An infant that God gave you, and it's just discarded, as I said, like a piece of trash. Now, I know there's plenty of excuses people give. They're not ready for a child. They want to travel before they settle down. They don't want to have to take care of a child. The medical bills that entail, diapers, raising a child, the bills that go with raising a child. Some women don't want to lose their figures. Some men don't want to have that responsibility of being a father. I'm not putting this just on women, please. Do not think for a minute that I am solely laying this weight upon women, because there's many, many men out there that fully support their wives, their girlfriends, to go have an abortion. Many of them talk the women into having an abortion. So I don't put all the weight on women alone. That would be completely stupid for me to do that, and I'm not going to do that, because there's plenty of men that are just as guilty. Just as guilty. But to get back to what I was saying about these politicians that stand up and pander to the evangelical vote, and my friends, that is all they're doing, is pandering to this block of voters, these evangelicals, to which I'm a part of as a Christian. That's all they're doing. They're just pandering. They're getting up behind that mic. Oh, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. And yet I cheer. I clap when abortion bills get passed. I get up in front of that same microphone and say how wonderful it is. It's a wonderful advancement in women's rights and women's health. But yet I follow Jesus. I believe in Jesus. Well, that may be true. They may believe in God. Sure. And they may believe in Jesus. But, you know, anybody that supports that not accepted Christ, because they would immediately know, if they did, they would immediately know they're wrong. They're not only wrong, they are seriously wrong. I didn't want to do this video again because I did it 2 months ago when that bill first passed in January by Governor Cuomo. But I'm hearing more and more talk about it. I've heard these same politicians who I saw cheer when that bill passed within these 2 months at various times say they're Christians, they believe in God, they follow Christ. So I thought I need to do a part 2 or a follow-up, shall we say, to my first video. I don't sit here and claim to have all the answers. I never do. But I know when something's right and I know when something's wrong. As a Christian, God gives each and every one of us what's called discernment. We know. You just know. I don't know how to explain it. You just know. And I know. Here and in my heart and in my gut that abortion is murder. And I know our Father in heaven is none too happy with this country for putting to death his little innocent babies. I'm going to end with that because it really does upset me. It aggravates me and it upsets me that I see Christians who support abortion, claim to be Christians, that support this, and I just shake my head. It's an oxymoron. You remember, the Lord tells us you can't serve 2 masters. You can't serve Him and you can't serve the world. You can't do them both. And that is exactly what these people are doing. These people that claim to be Christians and yet support something like that, no. No. You can't serve 2 masters. That's all I got for you today. I'm sorry to be having a video like this, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You got to go the way you feel led by the Lord. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.